Hello and welcome. I'm Eric Scott, and this is the Creative Prayer Book. We are on lesson number 10 now. So, wow, 10th week that I've been coming to you working in a little book by Stillman and Byrne, this little book right here. And I've been creating what I'm calling the Creative Prayer Book, a book of affirmations, of ideas, of things just to kind of keep me focused on my creativity, kind of remind me what is important with it. So today I want to do another lesson using text and writing in this little book. So far we've used stencils, we've used, let's see, last week was just found text, and then we use some of our own handwriting. So this will be like the fourth lesson with some of the text. So today I want to focus on drawing the text. So a lot of us are familiar, especially from when we were little kids, of using block or bubble letters. So I want to talk a little bit about that and how you can use drawing to create your own letters, your own words today. So let's go ahead and dive in. So here I have my little book. I have it open to a page that I might use. So as I kind of flip through, I'm starting to fill up the pages with words, with some of those affirmations. So I'm keeping one affirmation to a 2-page spread. And some of the affirmations are simple words. Some of them are phrases. And not every page right now has letters, and that's okay. So that's what I'm trying to do is to fill up using the words. After today, we'll have 2 more lessons. I think I'm going to keep it to a even dozen. And so I've been using, like I said, stencils, my own handwriting, some printing, even using a label maker last week, as well as some magazine words as well. So today I want to focus on either single words like this one right here, like the word make, or I want to focus on a short phrase. Let me pick this up, like don't judge. And those will be a little bit easier. If I have a really long phrase that I'm trying to draw, it could be kind of difficult. The only materials I'm gonna use today is perhaps a pencil and my Uniball Vision pens, or any kind of marker or pen that you may want to use. So I think on this space here, I might do that. Let me see. Let me just flip through. I had that red page that I liked right here. So I'm going to do 2 examples, and so I think I'm going to start with the word make. I think I like that right here. And I want to show you 2 different ways that you can approach this. If you're not very comfortable with drawing words, letters, and text, then start with a pencil. And so that's why I have my just a regular number 2 pencil. You don't need any special drawing pencils. And so I'm going to use the word make, but I want it to go all the way across. So I want to start off with just my handwriting. And I just want to lightly sketch in. And I don't know, it's showing up a little bit on the video, but using that to sketch it in, because I want the letters to be really big to fill up the space. Okay, so you can make them out there in the video, but now I'm going to turn to my pen. Okay, so I could just, like I've done before, just write the letters. I could use it to outline it, but I want to draw around it. So I'm using the drawn letters as a guideline, sort of like a skeleton. And what I'm going to do is to draw around the letters so that the line, the letter that's inside, kind of becomes the skeleton of the letter. Okay, now the A might kind of run in, so I think I am going to kind of stick to the outside, at least over here. And then, I make adjustments as I'm going. So just to make that fit, I can adjust it. But I'm trying to keep those 2 lines parallel. And then can't forget about the little triangle inside here. Okay, then my K. And then the E. So the pencil is a good way of thinking about how big to make my letters, thinking about placement. Okay, so now I have the word make. I can do more. I could color it in. I can make my lines thicker. I'm not going to worry about that today. But then I'm going to take my pencil, or I'm going to use some kind of eraser, and I can erase. Now sometimes you have to be careful. I mean, it does kind of pick up a little bit of the color that's already down. And sometimes it's hard to erase all of the pencil marks. And that's why I prefer not to use a pencil. I don't know if you can really see, but it lightened. So as I was erasing, it lightened some of that red watercolor and watercolor pencil that's down. But that's part of it. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. And if I wanted to, I could just leave the pencil there. Nothing says I have to erase it. But anyway, so there I have the word make. So nice and big. The other way I could approach it is just to use my pen or even a pencil if I'm not feeling too confident, and just to draw the letter shape. So thinking about what shapes the letters are going to be. Oh, here it is. So let's get rid of that. And then I'm going to do don't judge. So don't, and then judge down here. I'm pretty confident with my drawing. I've been drawing letters for a really long time. So I'm just going to use a pen. If you feel like you need to use a pencil first, just in case you mess up, go ahead and draw your letters with a pencil. But I think with this, I'm going to maybe play around with how thick. Maybe I'm going to do all uppercase or all lowercase. I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll do a combination, or maybe I'll do don't in lowercase and judge. I think that's how I'll do it. So with this, it's almost like I'm going to write the letters, but I want to think about the outline of the letter. So for a lowercase d, I have to think about, well, what is that shape? And that's the outside shape, and then I want to do the inside of the circle part of the D. O's are usually pretty easy to do. Do one big O and then do a smaller O. So notice how I'm doing these letters thinner than I did the word make. Okay, there's the D-O-N. And of course I have the card right in front of me, so that way I'm less likely to have a spelling mistake. As I've mentioned before, it is very easy to misspell words. I mean, I have pretty bad spelling anyway, and then to draw the letters on top of it just makes it even worse. So now I'm on judge. So I think with the judge, I want it to be maybe thicker and maybe all uppercase, and I want it to really extend. So maybe I'll start, I almost think I can start right here, make it pretty big. So again, just thinking about the outline. What does that look like? What is that shape? One thing I have to be worrying about is how big. So now I need to have the D, G, and E in there. So I want to be careful not to make my D too big, because then I won't have room for my G or the E, but I think I'll have plenty of space. And if I wanted to, I could take a pencil and draw in guidelines at the top and the bottom to make sure that the letters were more even, but I'm just gonna kind of wing it, and if they're off a little bit, that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right, and then my E. So I could get really creative with the letters and the styles and the fonts and stuff, but I'm keeping it pretty simple. So this is what I would call block letters. But kind of use any kind of letter. Some people like to do graffiti type styles, or some people like to draw kind of script letters. Use whatever kind of lettering you want. But now you'll notice that the letters do kind of fade into the background. We've talked about this before, so I could go back with my pen and thicken the lines. I might add some color to it, but that's going to come next time. So that kind of wraps it up. This is a really kind of short, sweet lesson on drawing text, about possibly using a pencil as a guide first and then using a pen, or just going for it and drawing your letters. So spend a little bit of time this week drawing some of your words, some of your phrases, and see kind of what you can come up with. If you need to practice, pull out a scrap piece of paper first, but just kind of experiment with drawing some of the words and text. So next time we're going to talk about maybe embellishing some of these words. So by embellishing, I could go back and thicken or add color, and I'll talk about some of the ways that we can embellish the text. And then we'll have one more lesson after that, and I might do like a wrap-up video. So even though there's only 2 lessons left, I might do a third video just to kind of wrap it all up for you. But thanks for joining me again this week, and as always, happy creating.